Quick quiz, how long has the AR technology been around for? If your answer is anything below 20 years, you wouldn't be wrong. In fact, AR has been around for over 50 years. Why then is this futuristic technology still not being used widely around the world? And is it the next big thing? The first ever concept of AR wasn't even called augmented reality. In 1968, Ivan Sutherland, the Harvard professor deemed to be the father of computer graphics, created the first ever augmented reality HMD system. Due to limited technological capability, the heavy and complicated system had to be suspended from the ceiling down to the users, hence the name the Sword of Damocles. Though primitive, this was the foundation to what we call augmented reality in modern day. Shortly after, we get the first ever exhibition dedicated to augmented reality, the Video Place, by Myron Kruger. The project allowed people to see themselves as projected figures on the screen, and they have the ability to interact with the elements that are given. This was sensational at the time, and it captured perfectly the true essence of augmented reality, interactiveness and personalization. Speaking of which, the term augmented reality only became the official name for this technology in 1990 by researcher Tom Caudle. 2 years after that, the first fully functional AR system was created by Louis Rosenberg at the USAF Armstrong Research Lab. The system was used for military personnel for training and other purposes. To keep it simple, imagine controlling a giant robot by wearing an exoskeleton suit. When there are constraints from the arm, you will feel the constraint. That was how this virtual fixture worked. And yes, it is probably the origin of the Jaeger from that universe.
The NFL Draft. Complete coverage begins Saturday at noon on ESPN.
Time passed, it is now 1998. Sports have never been more influential. And in the US, football is the pinnacle of entertainment. However, knowing when the teams get the first down is very hard to narrow down on television. This is when Sport Vision, a company founded by Stan Honey, stepped up and introduced the yellow line. The seemingly painted line is invisible for live viewers, yet it showed up as clear as day for everybody else sitting behind a screen. What is more, most people didn't even know this was possible thanks to AR. Watch this video by Vox to get a better idea on how the yellow line came to be. AR soon gained traction in the beginning of the 2000s as ARKit, the first open source library made by Hirokazu Kato, was introduced to the internet. Then instantly, we get the first ever AR game, and it was based around the legendary title Quake. Putting on a rather complicated hardware setup with a mobile computer utilizing GPS, a more modern head tracker, the open source code of the game, the team at the University of South Australia essentially created the foundation for the future of AR and VR gaming. In 2005, Nokia also dabbled with AR by introducing a multiplayer tennis AR game and others, which could have propelled Nokia much further if the concept weren't so alien back then. How about commercials? It is easy to find and see car models clearly on modern-day internet, but not so much in 2008 when magazines and prints were still more influential. Realistically, the best way to have a full view of a model is to go to dealerships. But BMW realized not everybody would take that trip, so they hired an agency in Munich and created the first AR commercial ever. With this, potential buyers can see all the angles of the Mini with just the back of a magazine. Speaking of magazines, we have
Ah! Booyah! In your face!
Esquire magazine dedicated a page to Robert Downey Jr. The content was mainly the actor being himself, breaking the fourth wall, discussing augmented reality as a technology, while also promoting the Sherlock film. Most were intrigued and more than willing to purchase the special magazine too. Then businesses started to pick up this technology, starting with Volkswagen and their Marta app. Technicians would be equipped with a digital guide with step-by-step instructions on certain cases. The concept is extremely simple. Watch this video if you want to understand how this helps technicians and engineers save resources and time. In the same year, Google shocked the world with Google Glasses, a portable AR device that sits nicely on your face. The promises and concept videos were revolutionary and caused the world to go into a frenzy. This was the pivotal moment, the highly digital future that people from the 20th century had dreamt of. Unfortunately, we're still not quite at that perfect future even in 2023. The Google Glass was designated for developers under the program The Explorer and was sold at $1,500 or almost $2,000 adjusted for inflation. The device then was made available to the public, but as you can probably guess, the public did not like the glasses. In fact, they even created the term glass hole for Google Glasses owners who didn't use the device in a socially acceptable manner. Privacy concerns were also extremely high, and although Google did release a list of what and what not to do, the damage were done. They ended up shutting down the commercial version in 2015 and released an enterprise in 2017, and then a second generation of that in 2019. However, even that was not enough to keep business going, closing off a decade of chasing this ideal future. Despite all the ambitious projects, augmented reality only became a widespread concept in the public when Pokemon Go launched in 2016. AR games had been released on and off since the Quake AR, but Niantic went above and beyond to create one of the most influential Pokemon game ever. Pokemon is a beloved franchise. Pair that up with the ability to see Pokemon in real-life environment, and you get a global sensation. Since then, AR development has been on the rise with new hardware from tech giants, fashion brands, IKEA, many more, which lead us to now. Apple recently revealed their Vision Pro headset, capable of advanced AR elements and interaction, 10 years after the Google Glasses. Will we see Glass Hole become viral again with the $3,500 price tag, or will the Vision Pro redefine the tech industry and the world, just as it did with the first ever AirPods? Will the future predicted by the people in the 20th century finally come true? Only time and the early adopters of this technology will tell. If you're still here, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and catch you all next week. Bye bye.